Okay, a big part of an acquisition of fear that people will go ahead and claim because they're taught to claim and sold to claim and suggested to claim as you experience more life on earth is the fear of falls. You want to be afraid of falls. You've heard stories of relatives or friends who have fallen and oh my God, then you go to the hospital and you have a fracture and you go in and then all of a sudden you get an infection and then all of a sudden there's pneumonia and then all of a sudden you hear these stories of death and all of this worry, scared. So then it's led people to believe that the solution to falling and preventing falling is to teach people how to fall. And that is so far at the end of a train if you were to look at all the elements that go into whether or not you can adapt to a fall of any kind. So then you end up getting skilled at falling, but nothing else is affected. Like nothing else is improved. You're just really good at doing this thing that you may or may not encounter. So it just doesn't make any sense to keep filtering out the water at the end of the stream when the dude's up front pissing on it. Just go address the guy pissing in your stream instead of constantly trying to filter and clean up your water. And so that's the deal, is why I'm doing part of this hand zoom, the importance and the serious nature of the hand zoom, and why it's not just this flippant, here, do a bunch of moves and your hands will be good type of an approach. If you've done my zooms, you understand this, but a big element and the serious point with getting your hands, wrists, forearms, and elbows so strong and resilient is that is usually the first point of contact when we fall. And I'll go into this. It's a natural reflex to put your hands out and absorb the ground with your hands first to protect your face and to protect the more important organs in the middle of your body. And then what ends up happening with the body is if it knows that the hands and wrists and forearms aren't capable, it'll go ahead and pull to the elbow first. It'll go to the next biggest spot to absorb and manage damage. And then it goes to a shoulder, or it goes to a hip, because you don't have the resilience of your hands. You don't have the confidence of your hands. Your body knows this. So it'll go to the hip and it'll go to these bigger joints. Now, when they get damaged and broken, it's not over. You just have to change your life to be able to put yourself in a position to heal from this. But if you go into those other worlds, now you're in a hospital. Now you've got a big hip dislocation, fracture. Now you got a shoulder fracture. Now you got... Where were your hands during all this? Your hands should have taken the hit first. And we don't have that because we've allowed ourselves, which is fine. Because if at any point you decide to change, body's ready. And so that's part of what this hand zoom is going to address on Thursday, the 18th coming up, is putting yourself in a position so that your body, mind, soul, nervous system knows that when you stumble and fall, because here's the thing with falls, you will fall. You will fall a lot of times. That's how life is. That's the point. You're supposed to be able to fall. And you hit and roll, or you hit and stick it, or you deflect, or you catch yourself because your hips are strong enough to pull your feet under you. So thinking you're not going to fall in your lifetime is silly. Being afraid of something that's going to happen is silly. That doesn't make any sense. So why don't we go ahead and just clear out the fear, increase the confidence, clear out this whole story of, oh, watch out for falls. Oh my God, watch out for falls, and just do the work to put ourselves in a position to, if you fall, welcome it. And if you get injured falling, it's sure as shit, and you have hands that are able, it's sure as shit not going to be something as catastrophic or as big to deal with for you as a hip. Because even if you break your hip or break your shoulder, heal it. The potential's there. Whether or not you make the choices is completely up to you. But the ownership of choosing or not choosing is where a beauty in our physiology and truth lies. And the body loves when it's when you and your mind and self are honest with it, because it's going to be honest with you in regards to your symptoms. So that is a big passionate point I want to make, and why I'm doing this hand zoom, and why I tend to my hands, wrists, forearms, and elbows on a day-to-day, is so I can be able to live life that's going to be full of falls. And when I fall, you stick it, fall, roll over, fall, and then we don't have to worry about trying to go way downstream and put together this, let's teach you how to fall to save you elderly people. Let's save all the elderly people by teaching them how to fall. It's like teaching you how to dodge raindrops when you go in the rain because you're cold and you keep getting, frigid, and you're outside and you're soaked and you're in a storm. Or you could just go inside, go in your closet, find your coat and your weather inclement clothes and put them on yourself and go out and stay in the storm all you want. So again, you're going to fall in your life. That's part of it. That's the beauty part. Teaching yourself how to fall is not gonna work too well. You'll just be really good at something, and then on a lower level of everything else. We're gonna address hands, wrists, forearms, elbows on what they have to do. Obviously, it's the entirety of the whole system, but first point of contact that you want the body and brain and nervous system to understand that we could put this down. First point of contact involves is your hands. And so again, you putting yourself in a position to heal when we fall. A scraped hand or a bruised palm versus a fractured hip. Both will heal. Both will heal very well, very simply, by making some changes and some inputs. But you'd want to probably go with the hand. You're gonna have to learn a whole shitload more if it gets to the hip, which is fine. Or even a fractured palm or a fractured wrist, or you want that, or you want a fractured shoulder, or you want a broken spine or something like that. And it's not threats or anything. All those things, as long as you're still here, can heal. That's why the whole point of injuries and falls is to learn from this and adapt and bring up wisdom with ability, as I've said, not just the wisdom of the experience of the encounter, because that's all we have now in our elderly, is they just experience all these things, but nobody's giving you the opportunity to increase your ability with this wisdom of the event. And so falls is going to be a big portion of this hand zoom coming up Thursday. Because we should be able to live life without fearing really any part of life. That's again another imprisoning style of life and living in a way that has you just enclosed in just this fear, lack of confidence, when you should have the utmost confidence in your body, because every part of it and every response and the design and everything that it can do and does for you is to keep you here and keep you able and keep you experiencing everything that we have to experience. So we want to welcome the falls, because they're going to happen. Welcome the falls, learn from them, and think about the level of life you're living if you're falling. I took a spill not too long ago, stuck it, rolled it out. Done. Great test, life. Thank you. See you guys Thursday.